Hi, hello, good evening. Here I am. After a while, or actually not after a while, a couple of days ago, I made a video in Serbian after a really long time with an explanation of why it took me such a long time, and this is what I'm going to be sharing here again. I am in a different energy and mood than when I made that video. I was really wound up when I was doing it because I had difficulties, as I mentioned when I last time. I had family emergency with my brother, which I explained, and that went pretty well. Then there was a family emergency with my father. Um, and that was a little bit more serious, and it took a little bit longer. Um, they both had health issues with something. We don't know why, because we decided not to go to hospitals and take protocols and stuff, but heal what's in front of you. And well, it did work, it helped, eventually something happened with me. I was not, I mean, I was not sick. I had some infection, like my brother had an infection, but I was not that bad as with my father. By the way, we don't live in the same house, so we couldn't retrieve anything from each other. And it was only us, not the others who are living there around with him. We're not even living in the same area. So, anyways, I had an infection, which was really mild, but because I wanted to come back and start working and working with other people, I went to see the doctor because I started feeling, I don't know, with all of the vibrations, informations, and everything that was going on, I started feeling a little worried. And I was worried because with my father, we were waiting basically what's going to happen because it was rather serious. You're pretty much waiting whether somebody's going to die or not. So I decided I didn't to have just a checkup, and everything was fine other than that throat infection. And they gave me some medication just to as a precaution, but those medications actually created allergy reaction with me, which was rather serious and rather strong, and which was either initiated with something else, because what actually was going on is that I had an astral attack at that time, and it was rather serious. I have actually never experienced something like that. I'm hearing strange noises right behind me. Uh, it was really serious. I was not only that I was all swollen. It was a reaction to a medication, which I didn't even take that long. I just took one or two. But with that, before it all started, I was seeing in meditation and in my hypnagogic states before waking up. I'm actually already woken up, but I'm just seeing something. I was seeing since everything started with my brother, nets being thrown at me, and we removed quite a few of those because when the issue started with my brother, we worked with a shaman who helped us. So we removed something, and his condition lessened pretty quickly, because something is actually pulling you along with all this, as if something gets instigated, but not only because it's a clearing, but it has a little help from the outside. And I was seeing these nets, which were actually like they create some grids. Then these grids fall, like they come on you, and if I was feeling like some nets coming here from this side, or this my left side, yeah, from this left side, and this I usually just do, and I remove it, and they do it again, and I remove it, but at some point it stuck. It got stuck because it something else followed it. And when I was seeing those nets, they are like grids, like square grids, and like animated grids, and they send you an information with it that you're when it comes here through your third eye, you're supposed to decode this information in some way, and it's not like a natural information that is coming from your soul and from the stream, but it's the information that it's unnatural, that it's I would say somewhat artificial, and it's coming through Wi-Fi or radio waves or possibly even 5G. But there were other things that I was seeing on astral. Well, I'm not saying that this is everybody's case. This was the case with me, but I'm thinking that those nets are following everybody, because all this was happening where when these campaigns around here, these medical campaigns for the shots here started. So they're carrying information to your body, they're giving information to your body that it's not well. And these have been thrown at me, and from what I've seen at my brother too, that he's unwell, that his body is not well. So if you are not familiar with subliminal messages and how subconscious works, you will believe it. And I had difficulties myself, and I am familiar with all of this. And especially if you really don't remember your dreams and you don't see what I'm talking about, you're gonna have difficulties, and you're gonna believe it, and you will buy everything that they're handing you. So I kind of we removed this because we had a ceremony. We removed it in a ceremony for me. And what I also saw is that there were arrows, like there were arrows all over my aura, and something was piercing me, which was not. I don't think those are natural either. And for what is worth, I was also seeing some beings, which are like large green beings, and they're looking like mantis beings, not good ones. But mind you, take this with a precaution, because I have a problem with them in general, so I don't see them as good beings. So they're very technologically advanced, and so this is what I'm saying, that I don't know where this information is coming from, whether it is the technology that is creating these grids and what's standing behind, but it's not natural. And once it gets into your body, once you don't allow it, they're doing it like 24/7. And when I don't have a TV here, but where I was at the moment, I had in my back home, my hometown, I have TV, and my brother has a smart TV, and I couldn't handle standing next to the smart TV because it was sending out information. And this is like these kind of information. This is what I saw. This is how I read it with my being. And well, I thought that I was defying it. However, other things were happening at the same time. So I was already worried. I was already a little bit low because of all these vibrations. And even before that, something started happening with me, like from January, February mostly, where I experienced some betrayal, which hurted me. And I was completely off guard. Well, not off guard, but I was not in a good place. I was not feeling okay. I think that was all planned, and it started there. And because I was deliberately, for a while, things I've been noticing that I've been cut out from people that I was cooperating with or working with, or that were helping me, or people who are somehow my team in an astral plane, so that I can't connect with them. I don't necessarily need to know these people, but with people that I know, that I had some connections or relations, this has been happening for a while. And yeah, something like that happened again. And that kind of put a pressure on me already. And then all these other things with these family issues and stuff, some clearing was happening, of course, and some things in me and in this field, family field and collective field, were old. So this could connect there through the old things. But it was as if somebody actually was deliberately pushing all your buttons. And implants mostly, because I will explain what happened with me so that you can understand, because I have been speaking about implants before already, but with this allergy, what happened is that it went here in my head, in my brain, and I had this intracranial swelling, and like I was very visibly swollen, and I didn't look like myself. My left side of my face completely fell, and even people who were helping me later on were really scared of what's going to happen with me, because I looked like I was having a stroke. And I had arrhythmia in my heart, and with all that, like for about a week, for 3 days actually, I couldn't walk because I had this thing here, like a string or a band that was here, and this was really swollen, visibly swollen, and I couldn't move. I couldn't move my head left or right, and I couldn't walk. I had to hold myself for the wall, and I could walk outside of the. I barely could walk from one room to another. I couldn't go to my yard at all, and it took like about a week for me to even get out of my street. And then when I was walking down the street, I felt somebody was holding my hand. I don't know who, but somebody was holding my hand. So as if I was learning to walk again completely, because I was so scared. For about a week, I was lying in my bed, because for a month now I'm sleeping like sitting up, because this swelling was from behind. And when I wanted to lay down to put my head on my pillow, and it still hurts a little bit here, it comes down and it goes to my heart. And what I saw with some inscriptions in these, because it's liquid, and I literally feel it like from here, because it was here. At one moment, it felt I have a hat on my head, and it went in all my my nerves, my endings of my nerves, and it felt as if I have a hat, and at some point as if I don't have a scalp at all. It was really sensitive and touchy. I couldn't even touch my head like this. And I at moments I felt like something inside was like going down, and I was feeling like I literally thought that I was wondering when I'm going to wake up next morning, because I was wondering when I'm going to have a stroke or I'm going to have a heart attack. Because what this allergy did is, or whatever that was, because there was something already happening, just it got enhanced with the allergy and with these all attacks that were like 24 hours for a couple of days. I had 8 entities that were sent to me, and I didn't say all of this in my Serbian video because I didn't want to. It first started through my left eye. For quite some time I was seeing like a red thread in my eye, but this was not the thread. It was like somebody was sending me a stream through my left eye of some not good energy, and it pierced. When I started recovering, it's only then that I saw that it pierced my eye. Because when I put for instance, when I want to put a stone, when I put a stone like this and I have my eyes closed, then I see inscriptions, and I see like symbols, different kinds, and some are light and some are dark, and they connect somehow and then they dissipate. But then I see, like when the glass is shattered and broken, this is how I saw this area. So my aura was pierced here, so it was coming through this, like somebody pinched me or whatever in my eye, but it wasn't a pinch. It was a male's energy. The male was doing this, but I don't know who. Then I was wrapped up in black threads, and that was removed from me by some woman, like Latin American woman, I was wrapped up in that, and either a doll or my photo. I don't think that was a proxy, but possibly they're using a proxy, like another person, with the intention of sending it to me, because those things are done through ritual, and most of these strongest things from I was seeing for a while were done with really serious rituals. I mean, I'm I'm observing them because I'm outside my body and I'm observing it, and they're doing sacrifices. And but this time I think it was because it was wrapped up in black thread, and I was thrown into a pond. Like it looks like a rural area, but it was really like, it's a posh rural area, something like that. But it was a pond, and it was, I felt like I jumped into a pond, and it was something I would never do, and not in a pond like that. And then it went through underground waters, and this woman just came, and I don't know who she is, but she's a living woman. It's not an entity. And she was bringing me through the underground and through the underground waters, and she got me out of there. That was what was happening when everything was happening with my brother. And then there was this beam that was going through me that felt really unnatural, and that was actually what lowered my energy completely, and what made all the other things possible. It didn't disable me, but it kind of opened my energy for it. And this, because all of these entities were sent into my aura, they were not outside. And I saw here a rather serious being. I was told that I had 8 entities. I saw only one. They were mainly sent, deliberately sent, and this one that was attached to my heart, I was really low on energy. This is why I didn't know what's going to happen. And these balls, they were sending balls, like you have a football and somebody just hits you, and here. So it was non-stop. Whenever I want to, when I kind of relax, and it's constantly like that. And it created like these, and then I had these arrhythmias because of the allergy, and also this. And I thought my heart was going to burst at some point, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't feel my left side. I couldn't feel my left arm. I couldn't feel my left leg. I totally couldn't feel it. I couldn't move it. And at some point, because somebody dragged something down through me, I don't know who that was, but somebody dragged it out into my left foot. And when I started walking a little bit, I couldn't stand on my left foot, because when I did, it went all back into my brain, and that thing had some inscriptions in it. So this was like very deliberate. It was very deliberately sent, and this swelling here actually blocked my third eye, and was deliberate also. And then I could actually see what was going on, but they were sending me information that they wanted to send me, and it was all about these shots that they wanted. They were trying to convince me that it was good for me, that I'm sick, that something's wrong with me, and that I have to take the shot to be okay. And although I put up a lot of fight that my brother doesn't end up in a hospital, and he didn't, it was much harder for me to do it for myself, because I was completely helpless. My body was completely helpless, and it's something that I'm not familiar with, because I have a lot of energy, and if I didn't have that amount of energy, I don't know what would have happened, because this doesn't have to do anything with your immune system or the condition of your body, because this stream, which is very unnatural, seems like, and these nets, these grids seem like a program that are going through you and searching for a place where to connect. And to that place, they're sending the information that you're unwell, and they're creating more of it. And it was really hard for me to do the affirmations or self-hypnosis to help myself, to get out of that. I did that. I worked with myself, but eventually what helped me is a Reiki treatment and light language treatments, which I had um, three, three and four of each. And it had to come, this energy that came from them from the outside also helped me. But I was, besides these threads, I was wrapped up in chains. I was like chains were around me, which were not there like a week ago, because well, I had some language transmissions with other people and these ceremonies, and it was not there. And there were belts over me, which were strapping me like straps, and I couldn't move. This is why I couldn't move. This is why I couldn't walk. And there were straps after those were removed. There were straps around my hands. And lately, I've been waking up with scratches that like were not there the night before. Like there were one here, like a rather large one, and here, and I don't know, somewhere. And I couldn't see everything that was going on, but at some point I was looking from this point, because you had some in some serious situations. We all have exit points throughout our lives, several exit points when we're deciding whether we're gonna go back or we're gonna go out. So I don't know what decided. What was the moment when I decided? Because I was observing, and I was more busy with observing what's happening, and I actually saw everybody. I saw each people. I didn't recognize them at the very start. I saw this man in the beginning who was reading these prayers from a book which has black pages, and the prayers that he reads are like backward prayers. And he drags me into some house which I saw before. They were trying to make me create some contracts with me before there, when some things were happening last summer. And now when they actually couldn't convince me to whatever they wanted to convince me into, when they couldn't buy me off, they attacked me, and this was really aggressive. And I don't even understand how they're thinking that this is going to work, because with the decrees that I have, they're indebted to me now. So and not only them, but all their lineages, because I don't know how they don't even think what they're getting their offsprings into with what they're doing. But this was like, I from the stories from my past lives, I've been talking about these kind of serious things, but I haven't actually experienced it before in this lifetime. And I got pretty spooked. I didn't even have time to get scared. I got scared later, but I was scared to fall asleep. I still don't sleep properly because, first of all, because I have to stand, I have to sit to sleep. But what I was seeing, like this being here, you had a hooded like being with hood, and it was like big, not gray, but something like that, grayish with big black eyes. And it was also a mantis being, but it was some kind of a priesthood being, something like that. It was when I saw that, I freaked out. It was horrible. There was some worms or parasites. So I don't know if this program that is going through you, because there is still something that is inside of me and going through me, like in a ball. So it's like a swelling that is going through my body. Something is still in me. And this can create other problems for you. And so far, knock on the wood, but it's scary because I see it moving and I feel it moving. It's here, and then it's here, and then it's here. And still, like now I'm feeling it here. I also had a symbol here, which was like not a good symbol, more like it's like a brand. Somebody like branded you. And here, when they close this, I mean, I'm saying that I couldn't see them, but this is how I saw from this perspective. And there was besides the balls that they were throwing at me, besides this being these worms, they are eating your aura. And this is why I'm saying, with all the disease, the story of the virus disease or whatever, I don't know if this is a program or a parasite. It's unnatural, and it does receive information where to go, but it first attacks your aura. And again, like a week before, this was not on me, and other people who were helping me also saw this. So it's not only I mean, I didn't have a fever or anything. Everything was like with checkups completely fine with my body, but I had this is why they called it allergy reaction, because there was nothing else that they could say other than, I mean, I don't know if I had some problems in my heart and my head, because I don't know. So, but I am lacking energy now in comparison to before. There are some consequences to this, whatever that was. So this is actually what creates a problem for you, because of this, it doesn't only lower your vibration, but it opens you up, so everything else can attach to you. And that here was placed by a woman, and I saw which woman. And when they removed the first layer of this, it was written with big white letters, "Fuck you," here, and this brand was here, and it felt like somebody, I don't know, here and here, like somebody was hitting me on my head, and like when you hit your head somewhere and then you have a swelling. So that's how it felt. It's like somebody took a hammer and was banging on my head. That's how it felt. And I had some inscriptions here, and I had some scratches, not physical ones, but it felt like I was completely scratched out. And when I was working with myself and doing affirmations and healing myself, I felt like I had a handful of arrows from my heart and my lungs. But that was helpful. It helped me. It was scary. I know when I'm not so wound up like last week, because I'm sitting in a gathering now that actually, if the agenda was to prevent me from it didn't work. So I don't mind it that much now, and the energies that are happening there also cleared some things from me. But I was pretty sad, and I was pretty disappointed in some people, because I asked some people for help and they didn't help me. And with all this, like what I say, that I felt betrayed. I mean, there were some people whose task was supposed to protect me and help me, and they didn't do it. Well, at least that's how it felt. And I feel disappointed at some people that I actually trusted. And it's not only one person. And with all of these people that I saw in this group, and some of them, I mean, I know who they are, but I don't know them. But at least some, I think that I know, because when they were placing and creating this astral attack, they were sending me information through these, like whatever was here. They wanted me to think that somebody I know is doing this, and it was in his clothes, and I believed it for a while, until this first layer was removed. And then I realized that I was looking at a younger man, a shorter man, slimmer, like skinnier, very skinny. And he had a hood like this, and a shirt, a hood, a blue vest with a hood. I mean, I even know which vest is that, and a shirt, and he had it like this. So it was also psychologically very difficult on me, because of all of this, because it was making me sad. It was really making me sad. But I obviously knew what I was doing on some level, because I did not attack anybody. I did not um, even try to do anything. However, on an astral plane, I know I very much fought back, and I possibly had like not a combat, but like I was fighting somebody with somebody, and I think I broke somebody's hand or something like that. Yeah, I think it was a woman. Yeah, and then after that, my heart, I saw my heart being pinched with a pin. This woman was doing it, and nails. There were nails on me, my heart, and other things, and yeah, that man. And then there was another man when we were doing ceremony. I don't know if it was this exact one or somebody, but somebody else appeared, and we he was binded. Actually, he was asked to leave me alone, and they created some kind of deal. So I had to offer him something, to make an offering for him, so that he said what he wanted me to do. I had to give him like wine or something like that. It doesn't really matter, but it had to be my offering, so that he stops pulling me. But it was not this one. He stopped after that. It was the other one. And these are the people that I've been observing for a while on an astral plane. And it took me a while to actually understand that they're real people. One of them, I mean, I already mentioned how I found out about that one, the one that was reading prayers, because those guys and those men are somebody I've never met in my life, and I don't have a karma with them, because it would be quite different if it was like that. This one is black haired. He has like a bald area here. He's tall, he's skinny, and he's has a pointy nose. Like if I saw him, I would recognize him totally. And I have been rarely seeing him. So either this is one being who's changing shapes or bodies or presenting himself differently, but I thought they're just beings, but until I actually realized, why I was confronted, that they are real people. So he's the boss, but him and this woman, they know each other, and I think this one also works with the artificial intelligence. Yeah, there are quite a few of them, the other ones, and I'm really tempted to say the names of the others. I'm really tempted, and I have this need from the inside to expose all of them. But it's not for me to do so, and it's not right to do so yet. But I feel really disappointed. To experience something like this, because you're actually helping people, and some of it was the agenda, because of all of these agendas that are going on because of the shots and the other agendas that are happening to all of us. And let me tell you, I'm not taking any shots in my body, whatever they say, and whatever there's no way that these agendas are genuine and that they have good intentions, because nobody in the right mind has the need, if he has a good intention towards you and he has a genuine concern for you, they don't have to convince you to do something. They don't have to buy your trust. They don't have to manipulate your trust into it. You would be doing it on your own, from your own free will. And this is not like, I don't know, they're selling it to us like they're selling cigarettes or on a sidewalk or something like that. It's like, what is this? We're talking about medicine here, something that is supposed to help you, and the agendas here are so aggressive. And if somebody attacked me so much because they wanted to pull me in so that I talk about it or whatever, or they wanted to block my channel, actually the agenda, what was happening with all this is why I'm mentioning everything in detail, but why I was strapped And why I was like my third eye blocked, because it is disconnecting you from your guidance, from your inner guidance, from your guides, and from your higher self. And I don't know this. I have never ever in my life experienced this before. I, since I was a child, I have this connection, and to me, this is so unfamiliar. That's what made it scary. That's like I was. I felt so alone. It's like, what? I mean, I'm alone all the time, but I'm not alone because they're here, and I know. And when I ever had a serious problem before with my health, and I spoke about them, like with my spine, I know that from on a quantum plane, I can change it because I did change it. But this time around, I had short period of time, so I had to ask for help because I couldn't do it in such a short period of time myself, and I didn't feel the connection with my guides. I didn't have it. I know that they were trying to help me because I saw this light out from the outside, and this light was trying, it's coming for all of us, but I was trapped and I couldn't receive it. So this blocks you from receiving it. So seemingly it simulates the ascension symptoms, but it has nothing to do with the ascension symptoms. These are not ascension symptoms, and you have to ask for help for them, because it's preventing ascension. It's hijacking the ascension. This is why it was created, so that we don't ascend. So they know that the earth will ascend and that the majority of people will, but they also want to block as much as they can. And it's about the energy theft. And they're having other agendas in place for all these future scenarios, just in case. It's like there will be messiahs that will come up in different places, and they're prepared just for this time. They're programmed, and it's not like they're given scenarios and they're not actors. They actually believe it because they're programmed. They're breeded from childhood for something like this. So you'll believe them, but trust me, beings like those, they don't have the need to incarnate again. They can just walk in. They can create their own bodies if they want to, if they have the need to do so, but they don't have to. We're all doing it. We're all downloading this energy now. We are receiving this energy. There are people who are the actual fractals or part of the lineage of sacred lineage and sacred families and families of priests and priestesses from ancient times. Yes, and they're targeted the most, but they're not going to come out and tell you and wave their flags like that, because that's not. They're humble people, humble beings, and they care about your consent. They care about your free will, and everything that I'm just telling you about is done against my free will. I never agreed on this. They wanted aggressively to make me agree on something and then make me believe that I chose it. No way. I'm not doing this. Of course, everybody has the right to their own free will. You can do whatever you want with your body. You can do whatever you want with your decisions. But I'm not putting anything of that artificial shit inside of me, because if this was created to prevent the ascension from blocking, if somebody like me who has a lifetime of a good connection with their guides and higher self was put in a position not to have it, can you imagine what happens with other people who are not doing anything with themselves, who are not working on themselves? Of course, there are the people who have natural connection. That's not the point here now. The point is that this is the agenda to block you from ascending, to block you from connecting and reconnecting to your souls. This is not the first time this has happened in galactic history. And the point why it was besides I think that several other energies actually connected themselves. It was one, this global agenda, but the others just used the situation. Also, Oh, by the way, they are working for this agenda, but they have a personal thing with me. So I'm getting wound up again here. I'm just feeling the energy to come down. Yeah, I'm a little bit better now, so and I know you can see than the last time it's visible. Um, where was I? um, I hold a portal, not only by my work, my practice, what I do with my clients and my hypnotherapy practice, but with I literally hold a portal. I'm a gatekeeper. This is what I do. This is what I do, things on astral plane. Other things I connect with other people. I do, so obviously do a lot more than I'm aware. And yeah, I'm not the only one that I got attacked, but I got it pretty bad this time around because I was left alone. I don't know if I was alone on astral, but yeah, but I felt pretty much left alone. And with not having connection with guides, it was, yeah. But then what happened is that when I was there, it felt like I'm already prepared for this, and there was some energy that came from the outside, which was not the energy from. I don't think it's a living person that was doing it. I don't even think it's a being. Honestly, what I think it was from a ship, because it was so strong energy. It felt like a beam, like a huge laser beam going, and it was dissolving these straps that were holding me. And after that, I there were some former clients that came up to me, called me, and some people that I did not expect. And I had this Reiki treatment afterwards. So they just showed up without me even reaching out to them with where I really did not expect it, but because I expected it from some other people where I did not receive it this time. And I don't know if this was like a kick in the butt for me to rely on my own inner power, because there is some power there, obviously, as long as I was able to go through all this. But still, I'm just, the soft woman in me is feeling hurt with all this. And I'm still a little bit shaky, and there are some consequences. I'm feeling a little bit scared with all this. I can't do like transmissions yet, like language transmissions. Although I was going around the street the other day and doing it with myself, but some of that is like the energy stream that I'm receiving, that I'm downloading. They didn't prevent that from happening, but it was just a lot more difficult for me to receive it because of all of this that was on me. But even without that energy is doing something to me, to this body that is fragile, and it was some energy and some powers or something that is coming back to me that this body doesn't know how to handle and that I don't know how to control. And it's challenging enough without that, and with all these straps and stuff like that, because they also place devices, like ethereal devices, on you and on your energy. And I mean, mind you, this is done with technology, and I'm not talking about earthly technology. And they extract your energy from you. This is what is meant for, because they cannot function anymore. They need a lot of energy to function. There were some other things that I was told, because everything that I went through was a test. It was a test for me. It was a test for those other people that I mentioned. And it was like a simulation and a similar situation that was happening in previous lifetimes where we all failed those tests, and most of them failed it again on the same spot. Um, and anyways, I just decided, because it was familiar for me, because I had a similar kind of process with ayahuasca, with my very, very first encounter with her. I was not in my body for a while. She kicked me out of my body, and I was not there, and I don't know what was happening. And when I came back, I could walk, with the exception that I had other people that could help me there. And this time around, I mean, I knew who I was and where I was and what was going on. And that time with ayahuasca, I didn't know any of that. That's another story. But anyways, I received some preparation. It's like, it was the same kind of, it was not the same energy. But after the energy that I was receiving was the same kind of energy. But that energy that was simulating this was not that kind of energy. It was artificial. And that's created to block you. It's all created to block you. So my advice to you is just, please don't do that to it's not only your body, it's your entire system. We are not only our bodies. And it's really disconnecting you from spirit. And it doesn't mean you cannot restore this connection, because you see, I did it. Maybe I did it only so that I can share this with you and tell you what is happening in this process. I have no intention of checking out these other agendas to see what's happening. I don't know. So if you care about your soul, and if you care about your divinity and higher power and your connection with that and your devotion, don't do it. I'm sure that it doesn't stop there, but that's all I can tell you for now. And by holding this portal, I'm not the only one who is taking care of this portal. At that time, I saw myself like in a white hood on a bridge, and I was alone that time on that bridge. And it all became gray, and the gray mist came, and through that gray mist, darts. Like, it felt like it's not a hum, it's like sound. They were making some sound, and it was artificial, and that's what got me down. So connect with others, ask for help, and work energetically on you, because this attacks your aura first. All the vibrations, all the information, the fear from other people and everything, the clearing from other people, we are all feeling it. And this is all bringing us down. We have to take extra care of ourselves. But if anything happens, do ask for help from other people. And first, I do not exclude these traditional medicine or medications if needed. So I haven't taken medications in almost 5 years. This is I've done some other things that possibly changed my body and my energy enough so that this is why I reacted to medications now in this way. But normally they help you. There's nothing wrong with it. And the doctor that was there, it was not this kind who follow protocols and stuff. He was actually telling me when he saw that I got scared that I'm having an allergy reaction, and he was repeating it. So it's, I saw that doctors are having these protocols that they have to follow. They are told that they cannot treat people who have high fevers, high temperature, and they have to send them to the ambulance, for special ambulance. I know people who went there and had good treatments, and and they have different experiences. But I was shocked when I first encountered this with my brother, that they don't want to treat people with high temperature and without taking any any of other analysis other than these stupid tests that, luckily for my brother, it was a negative one, so they actually treated him properly afterwards. But I had to kick and shout about. Then I was put in the same situation, and I couldn't do it for myself because I was like, I couldn't do anything. I could hardly move, but there was nobody else who could help me around. My brother couldn't. And there I was not even able to move myself, and it happened all suddenly, and I had to keep myself from not getting into some institution or being given something into my body. Or it was I felt it was like to put me in a position where I would be even more accessible, and it was scary. It was scary. I don't want to go through something like that again. And I was told that they're placed in my hands now. Not in my hands, but um, there are some of them who, as I'm a gatekeeper, won't be able to move further along or backwards without me. I don't know whether that means that they will be having to meet me or having to learn from me or whatever. I don't know, but that's what I was told. So for whatever that means. And there are at least two or three women. They're mainly women. There was only this younger man and this older man I just mentioned that I know, but it was a bigger group. It's a group. It was a bigger group. Anyways, as I'm seeing around other people who are doing some very good things for the collective and for other people, are also having difficulties, and I don't know whether they're experiencing attacks or whatever. But for me, it feels like it's clearings are happening, but it's as if they're targeting lineages. They're targeting sacred lineages, and some of us don't even know that we are a part of that lineage. And even with everything that I've done with myself and worked on myself, I found myself in this kind of situation. And if I had done any less, I don't know what the case, what the end game would be. When I mentioned that I was doing that, I was doing that pain journal. While I was doing that, while I was burning it, it felt like something was, like a nail or something was removed from here, and this held a complete, like a whole grid around me, like some structure around me. And if this structure hadn't been removed from me, they would be moving those nets would be moving quite a few things in me. There would be like, I had implants in my brain now. They were trying to move implants in my brain that I didn't discover so far, although I was speaking about implants, but these ones I did not know about. And I literally felt, because I could feel under my hands some bumps, and they were inside. And part of it was that they were being pulled out to be cleared and exposed. Part of this agenda was to move it, and most of us have them in different places. And I already spoke when it's like, it's not a harvest, it's a stupid term. It's like they're designed to make you do their programs, and if you don't follow the program, they will remove you or place you somewhere else or do something else. So yeah, I had clients with those, and I've been listening to other therapists speaking about similar things. So this is what they They serve to block you and to lower your vibration and to prevent you from receiving more, from receiving your own energy and your gifts, and divert it and send it somewhere else. Especially to the people who are working with other people. We all have them. We're not. We're all living in this system, and we were all living in matrix. And it doesn't mean that the matrix is gone yet. Although these symbols, what I was seeing in my eyes, it literally felt like, the matrix dissipating. And some of us were removed from this matrix grid, which were the symbols but they're going through us. We are creating it with our own energy, and these grids, this electromagnetic impulses and thoughts and whatever is it they're sending to us, are creating it through these symbols that are going through us. And these implants, they're coming through these implants because through these implants they connect you to this grid, this larger. So this smaller grid that I had around me, like, I don't know if it's not a torus, but it's something like that. It was not natural, it was artificial. And I have never felt that before. It was the first time I felt it, but I literally physically felt it. And those balls that they were sending in my heart, they were trying to reach that area, and there was nothing there, luckily for me, anymore. And this here too, but even in that ayahuasca session, she didn't remove it completely, but she unplugged it, scorched it, and they were trying to. It's not the first time. I also once when a earth jump was happening, I had a hematoma here, but it was with my vertebrae, something like that. And but it was not as serious as this one. So I know what I was seeing there. And I'm sharing all this with you so that you, or at least the ones who are able to receive this, hear and know what's going on and make their own decisions. And obviously I'm no baby, and obviously I'm something and somebody they're really interested in for some reason. So I don't think this is over yet. However, what I needed to tell you is that we will be receiving a huge amount of incoming energy. Like the portals, certain portals were open from 13 to 28. And I'm sure you felt them. I could not speak about it because I was I was disabled to do so. But the biggest one yet is coming on the 5th of May. It's a pulse. And I don't know, is this the event that everybody is talking about? I don't know. Was that the event? Or is it just some kind of, but all this previous what we experienced, all the clearings and everything, all the tests and everything that was happening was a preparation for that, because we all receive a huge amount of energy. And most people, some bodies or some people won't even be able to withstand that, because from what I saw, yes, this was from the outside, but the energy that we're receiving, and I had this help from the outside, but whatever you didn't clear in you, whatever you didn't see in you, like these implants for me, this energy that you receive, the light that you receive, blows it up from the inside out. So I really don't know how the people who are doing something like this to somebody else are going to be reacting to this. I don't even know how they're going to survive it. I mean, they will be, at least I know for the people who put me through this, placed in a position to also have to connect to their higher self, or whatever, because you won't be able to connect to anything else. The beings that you worked with won't be available anymore. And it's a place where you are either becoming light, and it's the only thing that this light wave, you can only connect to that light. That's the only thing that you have to not surrender to, but kind of jump into, just grab it and be in it, be it, because there's no other way to go through that. Some people will do it naturally. I mean, there are some people who had these kind of lives that they were learning through their life, and they will be gently taken to the next level, whatever the next level is for them. And some won't be able to withhold it, some with the diseases or stuff like that. Some at some point, maybe the stream brings out some diseases inside of you, because these are not only diseases, there's something that started at another level, but you haven't been paying attention to it before. So about that, speaking about all these agendas and everything that happened to me through it, it's because what I said, that was old, is karma. With this woman, I have karma, her karma. And this is creating furthermore karma, unfortunately. And I don't want to create any more karma with anybody. This is why I would react. Honestly, what I really want to do, I want to shout and scream and kick somebody's butt, and I want to swear a lot, and I want to threat. But whenever I sit down to do this, transmissions and videos, and I pray and I invite my guides and they speak through me, and this is why I don't sound like that. But the thoughts that I've been having lately in my head were honestly not so nice. And I was really angry. I mean, I had the full right to be angry. There's nothing wrong sometimes in being angry, because all emotions are, if we don't express them, they will implode. And I was actually sad, not only angry, but sad, because I don't want to be experiencing this. I don't want to be repeating this anymore. But since I'm since being in this gathering now and connecting to my mission again, and feeling these energies actually again, I'm feeling a little bit, it's not so important now. There are other things that are important that this point didn't be there, but that's another story. That's, it's their lesson, it's their karma, it's what they created for themselves and their offspring. I don't want to have to do anything with it. And it's again, it's beyond me. I did the best that I could with the given situation. I don't want to be experiencing this anymore. And I really don't want to place anybody in a position to be experiencing something like this. Because for peace sake, why? Let's just be better versions of ourselves. Let's just be better people. Haven't it been enough? What are you passing down to your next generations, if you were at all? I mean, I know Masons don't think about it, but what are you passing it down? I don't want to pass down any trauma anymore. Just, it's really enough. It's been enough. And this is what these energies are all about, for us to do something better, to be better, to awaken the greatest potential in us, to awaken the goodness in us, all that is good, all that is valuable, all that is worthy, everything that is worth giving and living for, the heart, the expansion, and everything that is good for everybody who's involved and included in this. It's really, that's I want to, who I want to be, and that's how I want to function. And I don't want to be placed in these positions anymore, but all because of the purpose of my mission and what I do. Possibly it might not be done yet. So yeah, what is everybody's scenario? How will this energy play out on the collective? I don't know. I don't know what's everybody's individual scenarios either. I don't even know what's my scenario anymore. Um, but it's and you might be even feeling it these days because 50 is not so far away, and it's I, there's something, you can feel something coming. It's good. It's really all good, but it's strong because I can tell you from this what I've experienced. But I guess it all depends on our individual souls and the amount of energy and the um, kind of the energy that you're carrying. And with me, like I say, it has to do with some old abilities coming back online, and also uh, what was something moved just went. Uh, I'm feeling this like it's left side. I still feel it, and it still blocks my thoughts sometimes. Like it's here, 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 and here, and then in my left arm. Uh, so I actually don't know what I was gonna say. Now, yeah, at some point, some of us, not all of us, but some of us, when we come to certain gates of expansion, I guess, have to ask ourselves not who we are, not where we're coming from, not where we're going to, but what we are. As in what kind of energy we are, what part of it, which part, which fractal of what energy we are, what we are. Not as in a higher self being, but it's like exactly like I'm saying it, like what kind of creature you are, what you are. Maybe this doesn't resonate with everybody, but these are the kind of thoughts that kind of surfaced in me after all this. And I'm still integrating this and I'm still processing it. I haven't really figured out everything yet of what actually happened there. So this is what I'm saying. I don't know what my individual scenario is, but on a collective, I know there's something happening in June. That's what I've been told. Something. I mean, we're going to be integrating this energy. It might take a while, and depending on your individual personal stories and what's happening in your own surroundings, it might take a while to settle. But in June, there's also something incoming. I'm not sure whether that's a portal of incoming energy or just like down this download, bringing it down and grounding it into something visible, something like it will be a massive movement, like a global movement. That's what I've been told. And I don't know. But actually, that's as far as I know for now. And I mean, I don't ask those things. This is something that comes or I feel. That's how it feels. But for the fifth, the pearls that I'm talking about are not astrological, and I feel the galactic core portals, and that's what I'm talking about. And it's supposed to be like the biggest one so far. Yeah, and yeah. So I won't be doing like language transmission now because I don't feel capable of it yet. Although this was a transmission in itself. I don't know if I will find the time before the 5th to do it, but these gates are open a few days before and a few days after. So there will be time for integration. So it's a week, like a week portal. So I think till about 9th. No, maybe even before. it's going to settle, but you'll feel it. Everybody will feel it differently, and it will be stirring up something in you. And how will it come out physically? I don't know. I really seriously don't. And I really wish for all of us to come on the other side as our light beings, light bodies, like the best ones ever yet. And this is a freedom portal. However, it looks like it's a freedom portal. And let's stop here, and I will try to do at least a little transmission, if not a little bit after 5th, because I'm doing this gathering, so I really honestly don't know what I have to tell. So thank you very much. Thank you so much again for this. It's a long. I mean, I fixed my computer obviously, so I could speak longer. I know this won't sound much to a whole lot of you, but it's how these energies play out in on an individual level, and somebody else might have some kind of different story, and somebody else might resonate with the agenda story. But I show up. I mean, I do this for the devotion to the energies that I work with, and these energies were there for me. They were the ones who were extended their hand to me. They're the ones that I owe my gratitude to, and this is why I just show up. And this is why I try not to give you fake things and manipulate and everything that I was talking about now. And this is why I try to be genuine, although I don't say everything, because I even try not to name and blame, but I mean I do, and it's if I say more, it will be out of alignment of who I am. So I just respect what they represent, and I show up for them more honestly than for. I don't have a huge amount of followers, and I don't care about that. I show up for these energies, and this is what it's needed at this time. And yeah, this is how they stirred up and showed up in my life at this time, and this is the only thing that I could share at this moment. So thank you very much for your patience, and see you next time with something better, hopefully, and something brighter, and a transmission. Thank you.